We've been doing movie nights for
years.
So Gen Xer and
a Gen Z. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
And he crashes them.
As you do.
It's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk.
This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew. Okay, and we are back.
We have returned.
And we really mean that because this is unfortunately our second attempt at recording this.
Oh my gosh, we recorded the whole thing last night, and then I hear you yell "No!" from up in my room. You come upstairs like 10 minutes later and tell me it didn't record any of our audio.
Like we had just a completely blank sound, like a straight line when I went in to look at the wave, and it was, yeah, that's so disappointing. So we may lack some of the spontaneity this time around, but we still want to talk. Hang on. You've got red on you.
Oh my god. I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
So we've got Shaun of the Dead this weekend.
This was a fun one. I had to fight you to put on this one instead of the one you wanted to switch it to.
Well, we just had Day of the Dead show up on one of the Svengoolie shows, so that's going in next. But yeah, this is kind of one that you've heard of for a while.
Yeah,
and
like this is one of those like zombie movies that everybody's kind of heard of, but I hadn't ever gotten around to actually watching it.
We've done the trailer for it at least once, maybe more than that. And this is really the beginning of the whole zombie comedy genre. I mean, there's been horror comedies before, but this kicked it off as like the fashionable, trendy thing to do for a little while there.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I grew up in the age of zombies. I grew up in the age where that was just something that was very popular.
And that's when it was really, really, kicking into public consciousness. Like, when I was a teenager, it was vampires.
Oh.
So, when you were...
Oh, that would make Lost Boys make a lot more sense.
Yeah, probably would. But when you were growing up, it was zombies. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with Walking Dead hitting right around that time as well. And the comic getting turned into a television show, getting a much wider audience that way.
I really do need to finish watching the show.
Well, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
And that's one of those funny things, though, too, because you and I really have different paths through Walking Dead, because your version of Walking Dead is largely the games.
Yeah,
that's your fundamental core.
Mine is like the Walking Dead games by Telltale. I have played all 4 seasons plus the 2 spin-offs. Mm-hmm. You should have seen the Michonne spin-off. It was like very short, but it was very good, if I'm being honest.
There's a Michonne free comic book day, like one-shot issue too.
Oh.
See, now my experience, my core with Walking Dead is comics. And then if we were to grab your mom in here, see, her core is the TV show.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 very different perspectives. Although, I mean, she also was very into Fear the Walking Dead, not just the core show. And she was into the show long after I'd kind of dropped off and I'm just coasting on neutral. I mean, I like it, but funny story about one of the guys in the show.
Yeah.
So Shaun South, he's one of the saviors. He's one of Negan's guys.
Boo.
And so he's only on for a while, but it's like family. You get to know everybody. And he was at a show that I went to. In fact, I only think they did one of these. It was like a Christmas show. And I grabbed my poster because I have one of these 8x11 of the title screen that I have filled with as many signatures as possible. I think it's something like 14 or 15.
Oh, wow.
I brought that over, and see, Walking Dead is one of those shows that I just kind of watch with Mom because, you know, she likes it, and so and that's something we can watch together.
Yeah.
So I'm over there, and I'm talking with him about it, and he was mentioning, you know what, I've got something like that with my wife, too. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying, I can't remember the name. It's this horse ranch in Canada or something.
No.
Yeah. So
it's Horseland?
It's Heartland. Yeah.
Heartland. Oh my God. I remember when Mom was obsessed with that.
And I watched enough of it to know what I'm talking about. So I'm hanging out at a horror convention with one of the alumni from The Walking Dead talking about Mom's horse show.
Oh no. That's so ridiculous. I mean, like, I did want to jump back to mention something real quick regarding our different, like, views on, like, zombies and such, with me being a fan of the games since a very long time, and with, like, the show and stuff. Those two universes are connected. There is one character that pops up in the games and in the show.
The game is the same universe. It's the same universe as the comics. I don't think it's the same universe as the TV show. Yes, I believe
it's the same universe as the comics. But there's this character that pops up. He's like, "Hi, my name is Jesus," or "My friends call me Jesus." Mm-hmm. And actually, I remember coming across him in the game, and I was like, "Oh, okay, not a fan of you calling yourself that, but all right." And then suddenly I'm at Grandma's house and I'm watching The Walking Dead on her TV because we don't have it here anymore. And hey, my friends call me Jesus. Wait a minute! I look up from my phone and I'm just like, oh, cool. So like I know a couple things. Apparently they make a ton of references to the comics in the games as well. So
they should, because again, that's a shared universe, and the TV show's a different universe in that, like, Daryl doesn't exist in the comics.
He doesn't?
Not at all. Never did through the entire run. Does not show up. He was created specifically for the TV show.
Wow.
And especially in the first year, the first season, they go on some side quests that aren't in the comics. And as we get further into the TV show, certain people get other people's arcs.
Oh.
So, because people die in different order between the two. That's one of those weird little differences.
I really should go back and, like, reread the comics. Speaking of the comics, we came across the comics in a very strange way, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Well, I mean, I'd been reading them here and there, and but we've got compendiums. I can't imagine it.
We've got the giant books.
See, I would read them in chunks because it's a cliffhanger every week, and you can't. I can't imagine what that would have been like living through that monthly. But I was at a convention. I happened to win the costume contest, and like, okay, I have less than an hour to spend the prize money. Oh, look, giant compendiums. Amy will like that.
Yeah, we walk over and you're like, I'll take those. And I don't remember if it was like just because we had given them like the convention money, but like the people, they were so confused. Like, you want to spend your winnings on that?
Yes, I do. I don't care if it's beat up. It's a third of the series.
Yeah, we got the first 3 books. We're missing the 4th. So even I've read all the comics except for the 4th one.
Well, and that's one of those things because you've got a fundamental education underpinning when it comes to zombies.
Yes.
And that's what makes something like Shaun of the Dead really work for you. Because you know this universe, you know these tropes. You're watching the setups.
I'm like watching like him like in the breaker room where he is attempting to fix the lights, and cue zombie, and boom, zombies.
Or when he's going like across the street to his little quickie mart, and
you see the red stains on the glass window. Oh, it was like, I mean, I get it, you're tired, but like, literally, as we got like further in, I think it was like the second time we went to the shop, and there were zombies actively walking around. Him not noticing gave me so much anxiety.
Well, and that's something I told you when we started this. You have to watch the background on this.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me like the first time we went into the shop, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like watching in the background. Oh, those two people are making out. Wait a minute, that's not making out. She's way too much in his neck for that.
And of course, it's also got to give you anxiety because you've been there in the store across the street with zombies.
For those of you that are watching on the Argo City YouTube page, for a long time, we had a series going called The Backyard Zombie Movie. And that was essentially me in an apocalyptic, like, zombie universe. It was totally homemade. We literally filmed it in our backyard.
That's why it's called Backyard Zombie Movie. But, and we'd occasionally stray a little bit out to the playground or something like that, or across the street at the store that's right.
Yeah, we also live across the street from a store. So we one time we got up there to film like an episode on me gathering food. And they were confused, but the old owners were fairly nice about it.
Yes, they like you and your sister. You are good kids, and they trusted you. They trusted you so much that they let you come in with a compound bow. And
I still can't believe they let me do that.
And shoot zombies in their store during shopping hours.
I still can't believe they let me do that.
You're swinging around. You're shooting the zombies that are right around Lloyd Kaufman. Yes, that Lloyd Kaufman, as in the Toxic Avenger, as in Trauma Entertainment. You had so many guest stars in Backyard Zombie Movie.
Yeah, you would tell me that you would go up to like random, well, not random, but like people from like those movies, and you'd be like, "Hey, would you be willing to film a short clip for my daughter's video?"
It didn't hurt that you had we met Judith O'Day a year earlier. You'd taken photos. I gave her a photo of you with her, and like, by the way, she's making her own movie. Would you mind? It's like, oh, no, sure. Kyra Sharon, the little girl in Night of the Living Dead, was so excited. So like, would you like me to use the trowel?
Yes.
Yes, I would.
Yes, please. I remember you coming home and showing me those clips, and I was so excited. I didn't know who like any of these people were, but I was so excited.
I mean, yeah, Night of the Living Dead is 1968, and it's 2000 and something. And but we've got news reporters from the actual movie doing a news report for you. Tom Sullivan from Evil Dead did a quick bit for you. He loved that. I showed him the video later on.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, you've had a variety of people be in that, and so yeah, zombies are just kind of a thing. You actually literally went up to the person who wrote Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, goodness.
So we were up at Monster Bash, and John Russo was there, and I'd met him for something else, and so I brought you up because you had questions.
Okay, I had questions.
Well, you're like, well, so why did you want to make a zombie movie? And well, it was better than going and working in the coal mines in Pennsylvania.
Yes, this conversation actually led me down a rabbit hole to figure out what Ohio's exports are.
Yeah, because you didn't realize that Pennsylvania was a big coal state.
Was a coal state. How have I lived here 19 years of my life and not realized that? I mean, to be fair, we only advertise corn. And that's not even our biggest output. It's soybeans. So, I don't understand.
You know, with all the corn around here, it's the worst place on earth for Mom to be living, too. Man, she's got a fear of children of the corn so bad that it's just...
It scares her. She would refuse to go into any of the corn mazes with us for a long time.
If you haven't ever seen Shaun of the Dead is a couple of, just losers who find themselves in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. They wake up one day, okay, Simon Pegg breaks up with his girlfriend, wakes up the next day, and the world is over. And as you point out, he doesn't notice for a while. And Nick Frost, who's just his couch potato friend. And so they come up with a plan. Okay, I will go pick up the girlfriend, pick up Mom, kill her zombie-bitten...
kill the stepdad.
Yes. and then we will head out to the bar, head out to the Winchester, have a pint until this all blows over.
Yeah.
And
no.
well, it kind of follows that, but kind of not.
Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh. I absolutely loved watching the friendship between the two of them.
Between Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Yeah.
I mean, they are friends. They were making...
Oh, really?
They were making buddy movies together. So, like, they would do Hot Fuzz next, which is a cop comedy. And so this was a thing. They were more of a duo than they were separate. These days, they're more of a single acts. Like, we literally just saw Nick Frost.
Really?
Yeah, we saw him in How to Train Your Dragon.
Right, we went to go see the new movie
Right.
recently.
He's Gobber the Belch. He's the teacher.
Yeah, he's the fat guy. We adore him. He's great. But, like, as we were, like, watching through, I'm just like, at one point, they are at the bar and they're, like, getting drinks. They make, like, this relationship joke, like, thanks, babe. And I'm like, now I know this friendship is real because that is an actual thing. Literally, my best friend, Veronica, I will call her my waifu. I call her my husband if she's spoiling me. We make jokes out of it all the time. That's a normal thing between girls. I don't know if that's normal necessarily between guys, but, like... that just immediately made it for me.
It's one of the fun things too, because Nick Frost is playing such a despicable character, but you love him because of that friendship.
Yeah.
I thought I could see it with the way that he's concerned about Simon Pegg's mom.
Yeah, he was like, and he was so polite to her.
And he's as protective of her
exactly.
as Peg is. And that's, yeah, but you know what? I get that. I just get that. The other thing that's really fun about this, now, I mean, this is a comedy. They are not afraid to be silly, and the wit and the writing is tight and clever. But they're also not afraid to go there with the gore.
Yeah.
This is very much also a horror movie, and they know what they're doing.
They know how to, like, when to stop the suspense and when to keep it going, because there were times when I was on the edge of my seat.
Mm-hmm. And they know the genre. There's constant homages in here throughout the whole thing. I was pointing out a couple of these to you, like when Peg first goes to work, he talks about how Ash is off that day.
Yeah.
And so he's filling in. Ash is... That's an Evil Dead reference right there.
Yeah.
There's moments where if you look at how the zombies are lined up in a field, like they're driving and they're passing this open field with the zombies slowly walking up, that's straight out of Night of the Living Dead. We were watching a recap before we jumped into this, just to kind of refresh. And they mentioned that the department store that Simon Pegg's working at is Forey's Electronics, which is actor Ken Forey. He's one of the heroes in Day of the Dead. That's the large black man who's one of the only survivors. I've met him. He's fun.
Oh, that's good.
And he's one of the convention circuit darlings. He's very good at what he does. He's the one on... You've seen my Dawn of the Dead poster?
Yeah.
The guy ahead of me had a bunch of signatures on his thing, and it's like...
Yeah.
It's like, and man, there's never any room left when I get here. So I hand him my poster. And I'm like, I'm sorry, you're going to kind of have the same problem. It's already kind of built up. It's like, nope, we'll fix that. And so he goes into the middle of the poster and does his autograph huge.
Oh, no!
I mean, everybody's got these normal, like, 12 font signatures on here. He's like a 68. His autograph is literally, like, 8 inches by 5, scrawled around the center of the poster.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, that's funny. I love that it's a story, but that was also kind of a jerk move, you know?
Yeah,
but wait, there's more.
Oh, okay.
So a year or two later,
oh no,
I'm at another show, and this
you.
is when I was going to meet George Romero. George Romero is the father of the modern zombie. He's the one who created Night of the Living Dead, of Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. He's the one who created the idea of the undead rising from the grave eating brain. And he's seated right next to Ken. Because...
Oh, no.
So my poster comes along and I'm showing him, and he's like, wait. And then he looks over at Ken and starts yelling at him. What did you do to this poor person's poster? What are you thinking? Come on, man. What
did he say?
Ken's a big guy, and George was not a big guy. And yet, Ken's kind of shrinking back. And
poor guy. Oh, that's so precious.
So I love that there's an ending to that story now, too.
Oh, gosh.
There's other stuff, though. There's, like, you were watching for, like, the guy to get pulled through the window.
Oh, yeah, because that happens a lot in zombie movies.
And the way they did it, it felt a lot like the end of Night of the Living Dead to me. But then they start pulling him apart, and that's more like Dawn of the Dead. And then they make it a gag. Because it's like, oh, sorry, here's your leg.
They grab the legs as they're, like, falling backwards. Oh, but actually, speaking of zombies, some of the zombies were my favorite part to watch through this.
You were actually interested in the characterization and, like, some of the things you were seeing that they could do and how they were...
Like, there were a lot of zombies that were just acting very much like, well, we saw at one point where when they're leaving the bar, they come across a zombie in the street, and they're, like, singing a song, and then they'll sing part of it, and then he'll go, huh, and then they'll sing another lyric.
Zombies react to music.
Go, huh.
I insist. Zombies always react to music. In fact, I'm convinced that if you're in a tight spot with zombies, a quick song and dance routine will get you right out of that. They don't hit that quite here, but you know what? You're right. They do acknowledge it. So, yes.
Yeah, but, like... There was one in particular that really struck me. As we are trying to make our way over to the bar, we're passing through the horde of zombies, acting like zombies. We look down, and we see a zombie in a wheelchair that is actively moving themselves in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Not like... And, like, with... Like, a lot of times with zombies, they will either try to walk or they will, like, pull themselves and crawl on the ground.
Right, because there's no pain anymore, so they'll just keep... Like, that's actually the theory behind fast zombies, that... they're just going to run
until they can't run anymore.
Right. They don't care that their tendons are snapping or that their muscles are seizing up. They're just going. And so they're just going. It's mindless. And these are not.
This zombie is actively choosing to use... I mean, I'm sure it might have been a thing with the actor, but, like, choosing to use their wheelchair. I find that so fascinating.
It remembers that motor control. It remembers...
Exactly.
I mean, there's... Some of that calls back to things... in, like, Dawn of the Dead, where the whole reason that the zombies headed to the mall is because this is familiar. This is a familiar pattern, that this is a place that meant something, so they're heading there and pantomiming their life.
Oh my gosh, wait a minute. When it turned dark at the pub, we got more zombies.
Yeah. That's kind of... I'd say that's kind of a thing, too. I mean, that's the whole reason why the pub is surrounded by zombies in the first place. And then, yes, darkness comes, okay. Time to nip off to the pub for a drink. And...
Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. That's so cool.
I think you got a real point there. And they even address this at the end. They go as far as to say, okay, so we're going to kind of... We notice that they're good at repetitive tasks and that they remember certain things. It's made them ideal for the service industry.
And I was just sitting there
they're coming after your job.
You know, I don't like this. This feels very exploitative to me. I don't like it.
Yes, this is beyond capitalism and into something a little dark.
And I also don't exactly trust them to handle food. I don't want them touching my food, thank you.
No, we'll just leave that for the robots when Skynet rises up.
Oh, God. I mean, it could happen any day now. AI is becoming more and more powerful.
And the kiosks at McDonald's or at Taco Bell or wherever where you have to talk to that instead of a person. I want to look back behind the counter to see what the Happy Meal toy is. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh, literally. My sister works at a Taco Bell. I work at a Burger King, and she has to deal with those stupid kiosk things. And she constantly has to correct them because they're always wrong. I'm thankful that I don't have to deal with those. But I also have to deal with the worst headphones on the planet. So, because you can't hear anything, they can't hear you, and then customers yell at me.
Back in my day, it wasn't there. It was just simpler. It was a big, squawky speaker that sounded like a long-distance telephone call from Mars. But you know what? To be fair, I did Wendy's in college, and I didn't do the actual drive-through. I either did register sometimes. I mostly did the grill and the dishwashing or the housekeeping and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I hate being isolated that much. I'm a very social person.
oh dude, I was happiest when I was in the back dishwashing, scalding water, and just get those trays done. And even if I was cleaning tables in the dining room, I was invisible to everybody. Nobody looks up. Nobody knows that you're there. It does not matter that I'm singing through the score to Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I am invisible. I loved it.
No, I get that. Today specifically, I was in the back window for a portion of my shift because I was in breakfast shifting because I don't know the menu. They threw me back there. Which is weird because they keep getting mad that I don't know the menu, but you keep putting me in the back register. I don't know.
You don't know how to make eggs?
No, I don't know the breakfast menu. I don't know how to work that system.
I'm messing with you because I literally had somebody back when I was doing diner work come back and ask me that. You've never? Yes, I know how to make eggs. This is how diner eggs look.
But I was sitting back there. The only person that was really back there is the woman that does prep in the morning, and I was I felt so isolated back there. Specifically with me, I pick at my hands if I don't have something to do. I had literally stolen a paperclip from the manager's office, and I turned it into a makeshift fidget. And then I went on my 5 and came back, and the girl that took over for me ruined it so that I didn't have that anymore. But
it's the last temptation of Clippy.
Well, it's just
only the Gen Xers are going to get that.
But I felt so isolated because literally I had a guy come through the drive-thru and she's like, "Oh, hey, you're over here. You're back here today." And I'm like,
"Oh, I love that."
And I'm like he's like, "Do you like it back here?" And I'm like, I'm a social person, so I like to be around people and talk to people. But being in the back is good when you need to get away from the chaos. So
no, it's all fun stuff. And I can't think of a better metaphor for zombies than having to work at fast food.
Oh my god, I was a zombie when I came home from work today.
You really were. I was worried about trying to do this podcast even. I wasn't sure you were going to wake up quite enough to. I'm happy. I think we actually got something better this time around.
I do think we got more fun stuff in this one.
Because we got to look at it a second time, and this really isn't so much a Shaun of the Dead podcast, because as much as fun as the movie is, this is kicking off our whole zombie category in the movie Box of Doom.
I am so excited.
And
I
so
love a good zombie movie.
We're just gearing up for that between the movies and the stuff that we've done. We haven't even talked about you've been going on zombie walks since you were well. The earliest photo I think I found was 5, maybe 4.
Yeah, we were looking through some of the pictures. Literally, I have done zombie walks in a cupcake. I have done zombie walks as that one girl from The Walking Dead.
If any of you remember Lizzie,
yes,
the
Lizzie.
one that was. Well, let's just say she was creating zombies.
Yeah.
I dressed you up as her one year and handed you a baby doll and a knife. And and if anybody tells you, just look at the flowers, run.
We found one of me in my Cleopatra of all things.
Cleveland has a very friendly community when it comes to that kind of stuff. The zombie walk is, we do a walk around. We all dress up as zombies or monsters. We do a walk around the block. We raise money for the local food bank so that they're not hungry like a zombie, and it raises awareness too.
You pay for you pay either in money or you bring in canned food.
A little bit of both, and ours have always welcomed kids, and so of course I started bringing my kids when they were
able to
very
walk.
much kids. So
I remember doing those. Those were always fun. I still have the plaque in my room of best survivor from my cupcake costume.
Yes, you were a monster cupcake.
Yes.
Hopefully I'll have photos of that up in the YouTube section, because that was an amazing costume.
That was so
that's
much.
Great stuff, like spray foam. just over and over and over again with a foam base.
I would get such like rashes on my arms though.
Well, the weird thing is that just started as a normal cupcake.
It did, yeah,
and
for Halloween.
And then you asked if we could make that into a monster. Okay, foam eyes, and let's put some teeth in. I'll just carve out a mouth here. Let's put some horrifying teeth in here. The guy that was running the Monster Walks at that time, that was my buddy Ryan Cunningham. He just looked at that and was like, that is just ghoulishly diabolical. It was one of his favorite things ever that he saw you in.
That's amazing. Because I have always been dressed in the strangest things.
So zombies in zombie walks, in
Zombie
horror
videos.
conventions, in zombie videos, and we're going to hit, I think, a lot of the Romero stuff coming up here. I think we need to hit Night of the Living Dead again.
Yeah.
Around Halloween time, maybe, because
Yeah.
you've seen it. You saw it as a little girl. Judith O'Day looked at you like, "Have you seen this movie?" It's like yeah. And you actually saw it at a zombie walk. They screened it in like the basement of
That's
May Hall's
right.
bowling alley. They put up a screen and you saw it on film. But we also like ducked out early to go play a couple frames. And
That's true. I can't even imagine what we must have looked like bowling in like zombie makeup.
we did Dawn of the Dead though too. You did watch Dawn of the Dead with me about maybe not quite a year ago. That's the one in the mall, like we were talking
I
about.
remember that one. I liked that one.
So maybe this Halloween we'll hit Night of the Living Dead, and Dawn of the Dead has an excellent remake. It's one of the only ones that's worthwhile.
Oh.
So maybe we'll do that around Halloween. In the meantime, Day of the Dead, the last of George Romero's trilogy, is going in the box. That will be the House of Sanguli version, which will probably be edited down a little bit so that you won't get quite the gore, as much gore as stuff like that, because there's a little difference between you and me when it comes to horror.
Yeah, when it comes to horror, I prefer like suspense. I prefer like the thriller. I like being on the edge of my seat. I don't like a lot of gore. I can't handle a lot of gore. I chose for us to watch the Purge movies because that'd been something I've been wanting to watch for a while. I couldn't handle a lot of the gore with it. I could not handle. We watched one of the, what's it called?
We watched the original Saw.
Yeah, we watched
which wasn't as bad as some of the later ones get.
But that needle scene, oh my god, it gives me shivers even thinking about it.
So, whereas I would actually, I like the gore. I like the blood and gore. I like the adventure. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not as into the thriller aspect, but then again, that's kind of why we do these, because we're exploring each other's worlds here as well. And we'll explore that a little further next week with something from the movie Wheel of Boom.
Bye.
Bye.